Well said. So does it matter who makes the first move when approaching someone new? Meaning, if the woman makes the first move or the man makes the first move.
You know, I get, I've seen this question so many times on social media and having this conversation with other people. To me, it does not matter at all. Um, and I put it to you like this, and I'll even put myself in it. Um, if I'm going through my everyday life and I don't notice that this woman has an eye for me, I can't make the first move. Um, so if she's been checking me out for a week, 2 weeks, whatever the case may be, a year, however, but I never knew she had an interest in me, so I never thought about approaching her, then it doesn't matter. If she knows she's feeling me and she hasn't even thought in her head that I don't know that, then it doesn't matter to me. And women look at it the same way. It's like, well, if you and I've had this conversation. Well, if you had an interest, in why you ain't say nothing? So it just depends on the circumstance.
Um, I'm with you on that one. I believe that it doesn't make a difference. I know when I was single, I loved it when an attractive female approached me first, or flirted with me first. Um, I think that does make a difference as far as like nowadays, though, because I think we've gotten to a place in society where we we're kind of scared to approach the opposite sex to a certain extent because for some men they feel like um, even if I took this person out on a nice date and things ended well, what am I going to end up with tomorrow? Meaning, like, is she going to, publicly shame me on Facebook or whatever if the date doesn't go well, or Instagram? And that's a two-way street. Both people are capable of doing that, but I think that men have kind of shied away uh, to a certain extent as far as approaching women first. I could be wrong, but that's the word I'm getting on the street.
I think men and women should get it out of their minds. If I take this person out on a nice date, or if I go with this person on a nice date, what am I going to end up with tomorrow? That to me puts your mind in a bad place because you're expecting the worst outcome. And I've seen a lot of situations that could have been good go bad because either that man or that woman was like, all right, well, I'm interested in this person. I'm gonna go out on a date with this person, or I'm gonna take this person out on a date. But shit, I gotta wonder what the hell I'm gonna end up with the next day or the next day after that. And it's like if you, it's like kind of like when people say if you're thinking these things, you're gonna manifest it. It's like, so why are you thinking the worst? So if you hope for the best, but don't have so many high expectations, you'll be all right. It's just when you juggle your expectations. If you have too low expectations, you get disappointed. If your expectations are too high, you get disappointed. It's like, don't go in it like that. Just go out. I go out with this person, see how it go, chill, laugh, whatever the case may be, part ways, and see how it goes after that. Leave it at that. Keep it simple.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Um, I think the best thing, like you said, is just approach it with an open mind. Meaning, don't expect anything out of it, but just try to enjoy yourself. And if it works
Right.
out,
Yeah.
fabulous. If it don't, then at least you had a night out.
Yeah. I mean, because I know we've had this conversation on several episodes, and my thing is this. If I take you out, I'm not taking you out with expectations. I'm taking you out because hey, I you looked attractive. I want to take you out, or you asked me to hang out. All right, let's go out. Um, but my thing is this: I'm not going to put myself in a situation to where I'm gonna be pissed off the next day. Either way, I'm gonna go out. We're gonna have fun, dap you up, hug you, kiss you on cheek, whatever, pat you on the ass. All right, see you later, and that's it.
For sure. So, again, when it comes down to approaching, do you think going through mutual friends, co-workers, um, dating websites, meaning hookup culture, one night stands, um, which route do you think is, in this day and age, do you consider to be the best route?
None of them. I think the best route is, I put it like this: the best route yields the best outcome. Whatever the best outcome is, that was the best route. Um, I personally hate dating sites. I hate them. Um, that's like sticking your hand in a box of Cracker Jacks and pulling out the prize, hoping it's a good one. Um, because people can put whatever on their profiles, and a lot of times people don't match their profiles. So um, yeah. As far as mutual friends, that's a tricky one. And I say that because I might have a homegirl that got a friend. Yo, put me down with your homegirl. And that right there can go any way. They might put in a good word for you, whatever the case may be. Or they might like, hey, my man, my friend wanna holler at you, but I don't know. And that'll put you in a bad spot. Or they'd be like, hey, my friend, he said he want to holler at you, girl. And she might have a whole bunch of goddamn questions. But then at the same time, you have to look at what kind of type of friendship they have, because if she's a slut bag trying to hook her friend up with you, her friend might be like, oh, that's your friend? Well, I know you a slut bag, so he probably a slut bag too. So, it just
Mm-hmm.
depends. It depends. Co-workers, um, that's a gift and a curse situation.
Yeah.
Um, you might have a situation to where you hook up with a coworker and it work out just fine, or you might have a situation where you hook up with a coworker and it can get awkward for a number of reasons, especially if the breakup is bad. So
Yeah.
you
That
you,
part.
you roll the dice with that.
I'll say, as far as mutual friends, back when I was on the dating scene, I had a pretty good experience with that. I can't say any of the females that I met through a mutual friend we hate each other or
Mm-hmm.
parted on bad terms or anything. As far as coworkers, I've only attempt. Well, I did that one time,
Mm,
but it was a good experience. It just didn't manifest itself because I moved and she moved. So,
mm.
but as far as dating websites and one night stands and going back to an ex, something like that, uh, I don't really see a great long term outcome when it comes down to situations like that. Because when it comes down to going back to an ex, you guys broke up for an obvious reason, you know. So why even go back there if you already know what the end of that road looks like? And when it comes down to dating and one night stands, if that's what you're looking for, cool, do your thing. But if you're looking for something long term, you're pretty much wasting your time. So when it comes down to weight, how big of a factor does that play?
That depends on the person. Honestly, it does. Cause I will honestly say for the longest time, I was like, I don't like skinny girls. I don't like slim girls. All I want thick girls, big girls. Um, and I was like that because in my head, I would always get my heart broke by a skinny girl. Um, and this is before I ever dated a skinny girl. I used to have that in my head.
Oh wow.
Um, but then once I started dating skinny girls, it was like any other girl, hit or miss. Um, just like big girls, or thick girls, however you want to label them. Um, I got to a point to where it was like sometimes I don't. Some of them have um, what's the word? Insecurity issues, and it's. I got to a point in my life where it was like I recognized that, and it's like I didn't want to deal with that. I used to have people say, "Oh, you want to only date big girls because they insecure and you could take advantage of them, this, that, and others." Like, nah, I date big girls because I have insecurities with skinny girls. So, that was my thing. But as I've gotten older, it was like it goes back to the beginning of the conversation. It's the looks, it's the personality, it's this, that, whatever the case may be. But again, some of those things get old. Dating big girls get old. Dating skinny girls get old. Dating girls with big asses get old. Dating girls with big tits get old. So small feet get old. So wigs get old. Weaves get old. Natural hair gets old. So I don't think weight should be one of those things. But again, you want someone who is visually appealing to you, and it does, and that depends on who you are. Whatever your eyes say is visually appealing. When it comes to weight, then that's what it is.
True that. Um, I say when it comes down to weight, when I was, dating out there in the dating world, I like slim to thick.
Uh huh.
I never, I don't think I ever dated anyone that was on the larger side. Um, it's not that I didn't find them attractive, because there's some really very attractive females that I've seen, that were on the heavier side.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't know. I just never ran into a female where me and her clicked like that. So I guess that's why I just never went there. But nothing against bigger women, nothing at all. Like I said, I've known quite a few on there, fine as hell or cute, or it's just something about their personality or the way they carried themselves that was very attractive to me. So financial stability, does that carry any weight?
It should, or it does, but it does, but it should, and sometimes it shouldn't. Um, because if you're dating someone or approaching someone just for financial stability, you might be setting yourself up. Um, because and I say that because let's just say a woman approach you and she's approaching you for financial stability, and you see that shit, then you're questioning, well, is that all that you're coming at me for? Is financial stability? You don't, my personality ain't shit. I don't look good. I'm not a stand up guy. I don't have great qualities. You just coming over here for financial stability. If that's just the case, then you know what? You got to go. Um, might be financial stable one day. One day something might happen to me. And if something happened to me and I can't, be that financial stability, you might leave me. So don't do it.
I would definitely recommend not choosing your mate on financial stability. Um, I know that we all, to a certain extent, want security, whether you're a man or a woman. I think to a certain extent, we as a society have gotten away from what can we build together to a place where, okay, what do you bring to the this magical table, or how much money do you have, or income do you have coming in? So, with that being said, if I'm single and I'm making all my money on my own and I'm doing well in life, I'm probably not going to want anyone who's below that standard. I'm probably going to be looking for someone right on, my same level when it comes down to finances or higher. Um, should it play such a big role as far as choosing a mate? I don't think it should, but I think it's all about the mentality that you both have. Meaning, if you both, you know, want to maintain a certain lifestyle, what are you both looking to contribute to that lifestyle? So, again, it just comes down to what are we looking for? Do we want to live like the Jeffersons, or do we want to live like, you know, the Jacksons, or do we we want to live like good times, the Evans? What is it that you're looking for here?
Pretty
So with
much.
that, uh, who handles rejection better, men or women?
It's another one where it depends on that person. Um, for men, I'm gonna say if you have a fragile ego, you can't really handle rejection. For women, I'll say if you have security issues or daddy issues or whatever the case may be, you probably ain't gonna be able to handle rejection. Rejection. I can't necessarily say which gender handles it better or not. It just depends on the person. Um, shit, when I was young, I knew I couldn't handle goddamn rejection. Um, but once I got older and I got to the point where either you gonna be with me or you not, I did not give a shit one way or the other. That's not to say that, I was disappointed in some rejections, but hey, I got to the point where it's like, hey, I'm a shoot my shot. If you block that shit or somebody steal it, I don't care. Just don't care.
I will say I think men handle rejection better, simply because men in my era we uh, approach women more often. So it's kind of like you're not even gonna get on the damn court unless you make the approach to the coach and say, "Hey, I want to get on the court." So it's kind of like by default we're used to the rejection. Whether a female says, "Yeah, I would like to date you," or she's like, "No, you're not my type," or whatever the case may be. It's kind of like you mentally prepared for it. So it's like, why even get bent out of shape? Because it's basically a 50-50 shot. Either she's gonna be with it or she ain't. So it's kind of like you have to, as a man, deal with that a little bit more often. I think women, because I don't think women approach men as much as men approach women. That's what the statistics say anyway.
I wouldn't base it off of statistics, because again, even if women don't approach men as much, rejection comes in different forms. Um, Now, as far as men probably get rejected more because they chase women more than women chase men. Um, that in a lot of cases that doesn't make a man handle rejection better. Um, yeah, it's just one of those things where it depends on the individual. Um, I couldn't blanket say yeah, men handle it better. Cause shit, some men goddamn be ready to commit suicide because they get turned down for a goddamn date. And it's like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like all these women out here and you tripping over this one rejection? Like, come on, man. Um, and there's women out there who go through the same shit. They think their world is over because you know, because the jock in high school picked goddamn Marsha Brady and shit over goddamn Shelly Carmstock. So it just depends.
I could agree with that. Um, could it be that women or are not used to rejection like men are?
They used to rejection. I know goddamn well they used to it. Some of them may be shocked that they get rejected, and that goes to those women who know they look good or their head's been pumped up. So yeah, that that could be the thing.
All right. So are women expected to accept this because that's how it was back in the day?
What rejection?
No, meaning men approaching them more often than women approaching men.
I don't think women are expected to accept it, and I don't think they accept it mainly because things have changed. Women have taken a more forward role in society, so a lot of them are not, you know, just going with the banana and tailpipe, so to speak. Um, you know, they own in their own lives. They don't have to depend on men. So it's like, you have a large pocket of women who accept it. As far as expected this accept it, nah, I don't think they expect it, but
Right.
I think they just some of them accept it because they are, they're not as what's the word I want to use? They're not as forward, bold, independent, strong minded, strong willed, go getters. That's that, and those women that are not that, they probably accept it even though they hate it. But so that's how I look at that.
For sure. So what's the best way to handle rejection, you think?
Shit, honestly, the only way to deal with rejection is to say it ain't the end of the goddamn world. Period. Um, because you got to look at it like this: if you get bent out of shape because a person rejected you that you were interested in, how the hell can you get? How the hell can you handle being rejected for a job or um, anything else in life? You know, a raise at your job. You know, a relationship is a crucial thing for people, but it's not the end all be all. And the thing about goddamn being rejected by a person, you always have another opportunity to holler at somebody else. This person can reject you at 2:15 in the afternoon. By 2:30, you could be trying to holler at somebody else. Um, so with that being said, it's like don't put all your eggs in one basket when you look at one person and say, "Oh, I want that person." Because if you throw everything into that person, you're probably not gonna be able to handle rejection. But if you like, all right, I see this shorty over here, I'm gonna go holler at her, um, and see where it goes. If she be like, nah, I'm good, I got a man, or blah 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 blah. All right, whatever. And some of us are jackasses. If a woman be like, oh nah, I got a man, in our head, like fuck your man. That's what we saying in our head, but we still gonna try. Um, and I found that women have that same attitude. So, you know, people And plus, you also have to take into consideration sometimes people will reject you just to see if you're going to be persistent, and that will show them what your character is. If a woman or a man says, no, I'm not interested, and you be like, all right, whatever, they might look at you and like, God damn, you ain't even try. Like, what the fuck? So yeah, rejection is not that serious.
I'll say the best way to handle rejection is just don't wear your feelings on your sleeve. Um, it's just a no, no more, no less. That's the way I would look at it.
Yeah.
As far as like, I don't know, back when I used to cold approach or approach women, if they told me no, then I'm gone. I'm not finna sit up here and try to convince you if you already told me no. I'm not finna throw on a charm or any of that. I
Mm-hmm.
just feel like that's a waste of my time. If you already told me no, or you got a man, or whatever the case it may be, um,
Yeah.
you have to take in consideration. I approached you, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to show you I'm interested in you. I'm not here to play no games with you.
Right.
But again, I just think that some women can be brutal when it comes to
Yeah.
down to how they reject.
Yeah.
It's like they some particular females get off on rejecting men,
Mm-hmm.
and some men do the same. Because I
Yeah.
have a friend of mine that was his game back in the day. He was a very attractive man, no homo, anything like that. But that's how he was. He just he reveled in the fact that so many women wanted him because again
Mm-hmm.
he was a attractive young man. He had it going on, things of that nature. But it's kind of like for him it was such an ego boost to
Right.
reject females when he knew that they were really serious about wanting to be with him or get to know him.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's a game on both sides of the equation. It's just
Yeah.
that you don't have to be mean or nasty to tell someone no.
And the sad thing about it is people, hurt people, and then like you were saying, they get off on that, and it's a lot because either they are insecure, they've been hurt so many times, or um that might be their character or whatever the case is, and it's like, yo, that at the end of the day, it's gonna bite you in the ass one day. So
Yeah.
like you were saying, you don't have to be nasty. Just if you're not interested, just say I'm not interested.
Yep. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of King and I Life podcast.
Yes, yes.
If you guys want to be a guest on the show, you can reach us at KINGANDEYE369 at gmail.com, or you guys can also reach us on our website. And if you would, so touch it, enlighten the people with that.
That is www.kingandilife.com. Hey, go check out the website. Again, if you want to be a guest, there's a tab on there. Fill out the form so that we can bring you on and chop it up with us live or whatever the case may be. That's all I got, man.
So you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy what's left of this week and enjoy life.
Yes, yes. And we will be back at ya. We will be back on goddamn schedule soon.
Yes, indeed.